Christopher Mader, the Meat and Potato Show, conservative talk, and awesome rock. And we are down here at Lincoln Square for our tax day rally. We've kind of thrown this thing together. See how long it is before the cops throw us out of here. No permits, no nothing. Protest the IRS. And that's 1,040 days since anyone's been prosecuted. And here we go.
Well, if somebody's using your phone, there's a ticket. Only if they're using your phone.
Got a few people here. Well, it isn't quite even noontime yet, and so we expect a few more. You can see Rich O'Coin way over there protesting his silence, his consent about the NDAA. I didn't see him at last Tuesday's City Council. And there we go. Our fantastic sign. And Pete Bove is here. It's only a small amount of people. Flag at half-mast over Barbara Anderson. Loss of a great patriot. That woman fought the good fight, and then had to fight for herself. There's a lot of response here. The beeping of the horns is the most important thing. People understand exactly what's going on. Or Patrick trying to fix the other side of the sign.
So this is our strategic asset.
What's going on, Al? 1,040 days.
I thought when I got here at 11:30 there'd be a bunch of people here. I was the only one.
You were the only one? Did you stand out here with your flag anyway?
No, this is actually Patrick's.
Ah, there you go.
I was going to wait and see which sign I should use, but there's not enough people who are here yet with enough signs for me to decide which one to grab.
Do a quick little slot for your thing on the 23rd.
Well, next Saturday, April 23rd, we're going to have an interesting conference in Berlin at the Cabela's Conference Room. That's at the Highland Common Shopping Center, which is right on the border of Berlin and Hudson on Route 62, right off the 495 exit. So it's very easy to get to. Plenty of shopping there.
Plenty of parking.
Plenty of parking. And we have a free conference that I'm sponsoring. It's a conference that's a working conference on how to get your state legislator to introduce legislation in the legislature for you. Now, many of us think that there's already too many laws, too many bills, and that the legislators who advertise when they're campaigning that, oh, I got this many bills passed, or I supported that, they're on the wrong side. What we want to do is get rid of a lot of the bad laws.
Sure, right.
And we're never going to do that if we don't take action as individual citizens. In Massachusetts, we have a system where any citizen can have their legislator introduce a bill into the what we call the General Assembly, which is our state representative and senator chamber. And there's a time slot for doing that, and there's a method for doing that. And we have 3 experts who are going to tell us how to do that in short speeches. And then we're going to gather in small groups and actually write some legislation, mostly to repeal or change bad laws.
That's a great idea.
Well, it's something I think we need to do because most people just don't know how to do it, and then they sit around and complain. They don't like the bathroom bill, or they don't like the paint can bill, or they don't like the higher taxes, or one thing or another, and they just leave it to the professionals at Bacon Hill in Boston.
Yeah, they just make it worse.
Exactly. So we're going to see if this will help get some people activated. And like I said, it's a free conference. The only thing you have to do to get entrance into our conference is
write
to
up
bring
an idea,
a
right?
simple written idea
Sure.
of one piece of legislation, one law, one bill, one bad thing in Massachusetts that you'd like to see eliminated. It could be just a tax reduction. It can be get rid of the Title V kind of thing that's cost so many homeowners thousands of dollars. Any legislation that's been passed that you think has been bad for our state or the country, just write a suggestion of how to do it. We'll have people help you put it into a form.
Excellent.
So that you can give it to your state legislator to be introduced as one of the bills. Instead of just leaving the other side that wants more government, higher taxes all the time, lobbying to have more and more laws, we need to fight back and start reducing it. So that's the whole purpose of the conference, 2 to 5 p.m. next Saturday, the 23rd, at Cabela's conference room in Berlin at the shopping mall.
Thanks, Al.
Oh,
Thanks
thank
a
you.
lot.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks. Enjoy the day, my friend.
You too.
Pete Bove. How you doing, Pete? Good to see you, my friend. My good friend Jackie Costas.
Hola.
Say hello.
Hello.
See-
Americans.
I'm sorry?
Hello, Americans. You meet me nice.
My Peruvian friend. So happy to be an American citizen. Look at that. See that? See exactly that? Very happy to be an American citizen. There's Mike out there. I'm going to try to get a little interview with Mike. Mike, you got a second?
Yeah.
So my good friend Mike Farquhar, good old Iron Mike from RapidRepublicanBlog.com, was the man that turned me on to the Lexington issue. April 6th it was, right? I'm so busy. He's so busy. Anyway, it turns out that Rotberg, a lot of the information that was revealed to me during the show that following Tuesday, Rotberg is a Soros plan. And Mike was behind letting me know about this. Go ahead, Mike. What do you want to say?
We had a travesty take place in the cradle of American civilization, Lexington, where the shot heard around the world was fired, where 12 Americans were murdered by the British. And there, a 83-year-old dingbat, moonbat narcissist wants to make his last stand for socialism and statism, wanted to outlaw any gun in Lexington that could fire more than 2 shots. It's
in case the redcoats show up, you know, the regulars reappear.
It's pathetic. He says all you have to do is dial 911 if you got a problem.
Yeah.
Yet the police chief, Mark Worc, admits 911 response time varies throughout Lexington.
Sure.
As it does throughout every village and unincorporated area in the United States. In some places you dial 911, the sheriff may get there in half an hour. Hi. We're protesting taxes. Thank you. Are you old enough to go?
47.
Enjoy yourself. Be careful on there.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Matt's got his cowbell out. I'm sorry, go ahead.
He only needed 10 signatures to bring his article before the town board, before the town meeting. Lexington is one of many towns that still operates town meeting. And he got totally rebuked the month before by the selectmen. And they wanted him to water it down to a suggestion or
What they call a non-binding resolution.
non-binding resolution.
Whatever the hell that means.
And in many ways, he didn't care.
Yeah.
because all he wanted to do was get the attention.
Now, did you go inside?
I couldn't that day.
Yeah, I didn't see you. I was kind of wandering around. I knew you were outside. I couldn't see you.
They had restrictions about what you could bring into the building, and
You were being unrestricted.
And I had one of those restrictions with me.
I think I know what we're all talking about.
I couldn't go in.
Well, I want to thank you so much for turning me on to that. It has generated a ton of interest online. Social media is exploding with it.
It doesn't need to have interest. It needs to have outrage.
Yeah, and it needs to be countered. And I think that's what's going to start happening. And Mike Farquhar, RapidRepublicanBlog.com.
Thank you, young man.
All right, my brother.
Keep up the fight.
Now, I want to see if I can find where did Rich O'Coin go? Oh, he's over there. He's over there. There he is. Let's see if we can get. Just waiting for the light to change. Let the traffic clear. A lot of activity here in the city today.
What did he mean when he said the oath and words have no bearing on the Constitution?
Yeah, well, we can do that now. What do you think? We roll it down a little?
I mean, I think
Rich, you got a second?
Oh, you want to interview me?
Sure. Oh, come on. So I saw you over there with the with your sign and your jumpsuit.
Oh, okay.
So how is that going? I was at City Council last Tuesday. I did not see your group there. Give us an update. What's going on with that?
Well, you know, it was very clear to us that we weren't wanted at the City Council.
Right.
They started getting pretty nasty with us, saying, you know, we had the police called on us, and some of our supporters got spooked by it and thought they're gonna start getting in trouble if they show up in orange jumpsuits at City Hall. So we said, okay, fine, we won't go to City Hall with our orange jumpsuits. I'm doing it out here in the streets now and taking it to the people where we are wanted, because out here people understand that the right to due process is important and that it should be upheld and defended. And so,
Well, it didn't seem to matter to the IRS people, but that's another issue. But it's all interconnected. It doesn't. It never seems to go away. Your cause, our cause. It's not going away, and everything is. It seems like it's growing and it's becoming more rapid fire and affecting everybody at every facet of life.
well, we all have to just pay attention and be active, because if we all just sit around and do nothing, they're just going to continue to get away with it and actually make things worse and worse.
This is true.
They have to be called out when they do the wrong thing, and so that's what I've been doing with Tony Economo. He's going to stand there in an open council meeting on camera saying that the oath has no bearing on the council. Well, that can't be just forgotten. That's going to have to be something that everyone's going to have to be reminded.
How do these people get away with saying? I mean, I was saying to Matt earlier, it's almost like these people, they know that they're lying, they know that they're thwarting their constitutional oaths, and they don't care. They don't care. And even though they know that we know that they're doing it, they don't care. They're just going to go ahead and do it anyway.
Well, we talked with Tony about it and asked him, what did you mean by that? And his attitude was, well, he kind of pled guilty to being kind of ignorant on the subject. He said, I really never really thought too much about the oath or what it means, or whether we're supposed to actually uphold and defend the Constitution when we say we're gonna. And so he asked for a couple of weeks to research the issue, which I thought was a little bizarre. You need 2 weeks to research whether or not the words mean what they say.
Oh, good God.
So we said, okay, fine. If you know, fine. Not everyone understands. Maybe people who are elected officials should understand that the oath means what it says. But okay, fine. You don't. Well, we gave him that. It was fine. Gave him 2 weeks, and then the phone didn't ring. So it was evident that he was just going to blow us off. So we're just going to have to keep coming out here and keep doing what we do and keep reminding people. Because I think probably almost everyone on the council. I know Mike Gaffney stood with us, but and stood for civil rights and due process rights. But I don't think anyone else on the council, at least none that we've talked to, has been willing to do it. But Tony Economou so far is the only one who's actually come right out and said so.
Exactly.
So unfortunately, I hate to pick on one guy, but he kind of opened himself up.
Well, no, you're right. No, you're perfectly legitimate to say that. Yeah, he opened himself up, and he is, after all, a public official, and you got to be careful. You got to be careful. You're going to say something stupid like that publicly.
Well, what I said to him is, you either have to retract the statement or explain what you meant.
Exactly. Great.
And I think, you know, we had the opportunity to go on WCRN for him. You know, Hank Stoll said that he would provide be a moderator for any kind of debate if I could find someone willing to actually say that the oath doesn't mean what it says. Well, yeah, I found someone because he said so, but now he's just running and hiding from the issue, which is kind of, I guess, a typical thing that politicians do. But it's time that we, the people, stop letting them get away with it.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Rich. Keep up the good work. Get you back on the show, brother.
All right, sounds good.
So, here we go. So, got a couple of interviews, interesting people. I'm going to give it a few minutes. We'll pause the tape for now, and I'll do a part 2 afterwards. We're here at Lincoln Square, the Meat and Potato Show, conservative talk, and awesome rock. It's Tax Day, Tea Party, protest, organized by my good friend Matt O'Brien, president of the Worcester Tea Party. And there he is right there in his white shirt. Very proud of himself. And someone's got the cowbell. Oh, good God.